Hello everyone, I am Nidhi, a student at Faculty of Law, Jamia Millia Islamia, and today I'm here to discuss about defective products and the liability of e-commerce. So first of all, let's discuss what is a defect. Defect has been defined under the Section 2, Clause 1, Subclause F of the Consumer Protection Act as something that means a fault, imperfection, shortcoming in the quality, quantity, potency, purity, or the standards of the goods that have been prescribed by law. So, defects can be of two types, latent defect and a patent defect. For example, if you buy a laptop and you see that the screen is broken, so the broken screen would be held as a latent defect. But if you later on find out that there is a problem with the motherboard or some internal thing, then that would be patent defect because you cannot see it through your eye. And now moving on to e-commerce. E-commerce, the term e-commerce has been included in the Consumer Protection Act 2019, and in the 1986 Act this term was not present, and under this act it has been included under section 2 clause 16 of the act. The definition given to e-commerce is fairly broad to include all the online retail applications present in the market. Consumer Protection E-commerce Rules 2020. These rules have been framed under Section 194 read with Section 101 of the Consumer Protection Act to prevent the unfair trade practices prevalent in the e-commerce market. Now, there are three entities which have been defined under these rules. They are: first is the e-commerce entity, that includes any person who is operating or managing an online platform for e-commerce, but that does not include the sellers operating online retail websites. So, for example, a seller on Instagram would be an e-commerce entity. Then the second is marketplace e-commerce entity. So, an entity providing a web platform to facilitate transactions between sellers and buyers would be a marketplace e-commerce entity. For example, Amazon, Flipkart, and other such applications. Third would be the inventory e-commerce entity. So, an entity owning an inventory of goods which it sells through an online platform to its customers would be an inventory e-commerce entity. So, for example, Apple, if tomorrow opens a store, that would be held as an inventory e-commerce entity. As the e-commerce transactions are frequently conducted through an online intermediary such as Amazon, Flipkart, etc., the term electronic service providers has been broadly defined to include such intermediaries under Section 2, Clause 17. Despite this inclusion, the law over the liability of e-commerce is unclear. The decision of liability of e-commerce has been left in the hands of the court. There are several cases which have been decided, and the precedent held in one case has not been followed in the another case. So now I'm going to discuss a few cases. In Supriyo Ranjan Mahapatra versus Amazon India Private Limited, the question of liability of e-commerce in cases of defective products and services was discussed. The Odisha State Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission held Amazon liable in a case where a student ordered for a laptop placed at a discounted rate of rupees 190 and it was soon cancelled after it was confirmed. Commission held that when Amazon made an offer and the complainant placed the order accepting that offer, the agreement stood completed between the parties and Amazon was at fault. In another case called the Sarwan Singh versus Amazon India, where the complaint was filed regarding a defective mobile phone, the Chhattisgarh State Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission held that Amazon was only a shopping platform and had no connection with the manufacturer or the services that were being provided by the manufacturer. Further, the commission held that it was only a facilitator and cannot be a party to the suit where a defective product has been provided. So we can see that there is a complete change in the precedent as regarding the earlier case. The law on the liability of e-commerce platforms and such online marketplaces is at a nascent stage in almost all the jurisdictions of the world. In absence of clear law and with increasing rulings against such e-commerce platforms, the consumers will be encouraged to file even more cases. And hence, to conclude, I would like to say that there needs to be a clear law that has to be established with respect to the e-commerce platforms. Thank you.